Hi, I'm Terry Farr, Executive Director for the Greater Picayune Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm having a continuation of a conversation with Greg Mitchell, who's the Banking Center President for Bank Plus, where, I don't know if you can tell, his office looks better than mine. We're in Bank Plus here. This is a more of a casual conversation. The other one is maybe a little bit more structured, if you will. So Greg and I have known each other for a long time and worked together at Bank Plus and also on the board of directors. And so we brainstorm a good bit. And one of the things I want to do today is brainstorm with Greg about our young people, about our students here in Pearl River County, not just Picayune, but Pearl River County. The Chamber has now two memberships. One, I'm going to call it a general membership, and then two, we have a student membership. To my knowledge, we have never had a student member.
We can change that.
And we will. We're going to change that right now after you see this and you share this. Again, this is just brainstorming to see what we can do, because we've got three top goals right now for the Chamber, and one of them is adding value to our Chamber members and to the community.
Right.
So your wife is a librarian, my wife is a teacher. Bill Cruz, who's the president of the Chamber, his wife is a counselor. I got so many family members that have been in the school system, and anything that I say, I want it to come out positive about the school system, because we've got three good school systems in Pearl River County. But you can go through, K through 12, you can go through college and all that, get that education, which I think is obviously crucial. But there's always going to be things that you aren't taught about leadership or about business, whatever. So anyway, Greg, what are some of your thoughts on what we can do for, and I don't mean, mainly I'm talking about high school students.
Right. Just fast forward to college and let's talk about some things that when I was in college, they didn't really have specific courses for this, or, you got bits and pieces, but you don't really get it till you get in the real world. And
right.
I think it's leadership and culture. I think that needs to be emphasized more in our youth. I think it's very important to understand different types of cultures, personalities, how the world works. And I think we have something to offer, and I think this community has a lot to offer. A lot of good business leaders. Like I said, good school systems, people willing to help our youth, and I think we need to tap into that and start a movement. We can get more into the importance of, having those people come back and work in this community, but, I know you mentioned something about using the Chamber office and what capabilities we have to bring in, X number of students. I guess elaborate on that, because we had some discussion the other day about number of students, what we offer, the facility.
Yeah. For those of y'all that have never been to the Chamber office, we do have a conference room, and it'll comfortably hold, I'd say, 10 to 12 people in there. And some of the conversations that we've had about this is, what I would like to see us do is have, and again, this is just a starting of this, have about 5 students from Picayune and 5 students from PRC to come hang out, if you will, and and my thoughts are maybe do some kind of a 9-week leadership course where you're certified, if you will, when you finish this course. Maybe you meet 1 hour a week, and we have maybe a leader in town that these students will listen to.
Not to cut you off there, but and I've talked to a couple of people, but I think it's very important, and I know we have the business leaders, the small business owners, people of different professions, different backgrounds that would be willing to give their time to the youth of this community, which is very important, to let them see what this community does have to offer as far as careers, different paths you may want to take. We know the quality of life is great. We know it's a wonderful place to raise your children and shop. And, I think it's just very important that these students who are willing to look at the culture aspect of things, to look at leadership, I think we need more leadership education. I think they need to be exposed to that. Yeah. So having a willing group of business people and a community willing to come together for our youth, I think sets a platform for them to go off to college or to graduate high school and start a small business. I mean, I think it's just very, we're so blessed to have people that would be willing to do that and give up their time. So.
Well, and again, you know me pretty good, and I know you, and I listen to a lot of different podcasts, read a good bit, and just, don't repeat this, but I wasn't the best student there ever was, okay? So I had to keep on learning after school, and, I'm older, but I'm still learning every day. And my point is this. In some of the podcasts that I listen to, these guys are talking about you need a mentor, you need a coach, and they don't, and these may be people that you have to actually pay, but I think we've got access to where we could get these students to come in, and now everybody won't necessarily qualify, if you will, and I think the qualifications to be one of these 5 from PRC, 5 from Picayune, would not be grade point average, and I don't even know what the qualifications would be, but I'm, again, being an older guy, I'm sort of old school, and you and I think a lot alike in certain areas, and one of the things that, and again, I'm just sort of rambling as we always do, but I mean, I want somebody that wants to participate.
Desire.
Yeah.
Passion.
I mean, so if you're playing this for your high school student and he goes, nah, this is weird, that's fine. Go do something else. We don't want you to participate in what we're going to be doing, and I don't want that to come out too cruel or crude or whatever, but we're going to be looking for 10 people that want to learn more and become leaders and hopefully stay here in Pearl River County.
There is a wealth of knowledge in our community between many people. Been there, done that mentality, that if people would just be more of a listener, there's so much there that could be just, I wish I would have listened better when I was young. I can remember people telling me, so-and-so, is 15 years older than you, but you need to listen to what they're doing, watch what they do, watch how they move, learn from it, learn from their mistakes, and let them be a mentor. Being young, you go, I got a job, I got a nice truck, I don't need to listen to nobody older than me. And I'm telling you, where I'm sitting at today, I can tell you from an age standpoint, it's very important to surround yourself with people that have been there, done that, and that you can listen to and that can be a mentor for you. Very important. I think if we can set something up like the mentor program at the chamber, I think there are many students out there that would be willing to participate in this, and that's just my off the cuff reaction.
Yeah. So, man. What are our next steps? I mean, here's what I'm sort of thinking. I thought about it earlier this morning. Of course, I'm at my best if I'm at my best early in the morning, and I'm thinking about hooking up with Dean Shaw, hooking up with Alan Lumpkin and Stacy Baldwin and Coach Kirkland, and pick their brain, and because this isn't going to happen tomorrow. I mean, if we're going to have to get some permission, we're going to have to get some approvals. I mean, if it's me and you and 6 or 7 others, I think we'll probably have to go through a background check and all this. I mean, it's going. If we do it, well, not if, we're going to do this, okay? So when we do it, it's going to be done right. But I want the support from the school system, and again, I don't know how we'll do the selection process, because if we can only do 10 students, and hey, let me say this, you know, I'm a big thinker, and so we may start out with 10, and hey, who's to know? I mean, where that may go. I mean, you got a community room over there at your Williams Avenue branch. I mean, that'll hold 20, 30 people. So
yeah, the hospital has
I mean, we got
a couple of rooms available. There, we can find excuses or we can move forward, and I think it's time we move forward with something.
You know, and I know we joke around about age and whatever, and you know, a mentor does not have to be older. You know, like when I worked at Bank Plus, Greg, who's young enough to be my son, was my boss. And so I'm sort of thinking, like, we're doing this YouTube deal, and I don't even know if we need to tell the people the trouble we've had with iCloud storage and doing these. You know, it's pretty comical because we don't know what we're doing. So,
we're about 60 minutes into a 10 to 12 minute video, so
we're having fun. It's
technical
just,
difficulties.
Pretty comical too.
Yeah.
But what's funny is nobody else knows how to do this. But so I said we need to get a 12-year-old in here to help us. So my point being is, we, especially me, can learn from the high school students, because they know so much stuff, and really part of the brainstorming to me is, as I've shared many times, if you keep on doing business the way you've always done it, we touched about it on the banking side.
Right.
I mean, nothing's staying the same, and whether we have, what's the word I'm looking for? Incubators or whatever.
Yeah.
We need that in town. You know, whether it's the chamber or somebody, because there's probably some young people that may go to 2 years of college. You know, maybe they go to PRCC, the #1.
Great technical, and I mean, those programs up there are second to none, and they're filled in so many jobs for people. It's
And hey, everybody doesn't need to go to 4 years of college. Some need to go to 14. Some need to, you know, so we can learn from these young people, students, and I'll say this. We're not too hard-headed when it comes to that anyway. I love learning from, students. So
right.
Anyway, what do we need to do next, you think?
Well, I think we need to, first I want to see what kind of feedback we get on this video, because we did this to see what type of, what's out there. I mean, is this really, is this something we're just sitting here thinking about, that everybody's like, well, that's a bad idea, or we really don't think. I mean, how could it be? But, we need some feedback and get people's perception on it. But, we need to determine, qualifications. We need to, I think the next step is qualifications. I think we need to meet more, bring in more people, try to formulate this program. I can see the end result. I think you can see the end result too of what's going to happen if we can get this going. And but next step, what's the qualifications? I think we need to meet with the people that you mentioned, maybe some others as well. Just get plenty of feedback and try to just put the pencil to paper.
Yeah. So this will be put out in a YouTube video. I don't know if we'll do part 1 and part 2 back to back same day, or if we'll separate that, because you can just watch so much videos. But if you will, whether you've got, I'm thinking of J.P. Burns, one of my favorite people. J.P. likes to comment on our YouTube. J.P., what do you think about what we're talking about today? What do others think about? What does your dad think about this? Whether you got kids or not, let us know. And if you got any thoughts, you don't have to put it on the comments on YouTube. If you want to call me or, email me or whatever, do that. But give us your feedback, share this, and We'll be sharing this with some of the administrators in the school systems and get their feedback, and we'll just go from there.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
Appreciate it. Again, make it a great day.